I'm not saying the interceptions are okay, but if you're putting up 30-some points a game,
Man, go ahead. I want to chime in, but go ahead.
We just give them a pass. And if this was so many other quarterbacks, we'd be holding them to the fire, and we would sit there and say, they got to stop. The turnovers have to stop. We could sit here and turn to the points per game situation, but I could also say how many points of those were scored because of short fields? How many points of those were scored because the defense taking the ball away, like they did yesterday twice against Jacksonville? Again, I thought Dak played good football. I am waiting for the moment in this season where, man, my right tackle got hurt. Man, I don't have enough dudes win on the. I watched Josh Allen go for 4 touchdowns this Saturday against the good defense in Miami, and he doesn't have a ton on the offensive line. I watched Joe Burrow 2 weeks ago play without his number 1 tight end, his number 1 tailback, his number 2 and number 3 receiver, and go beat Cleveland. I've watched a lot of quarterbacks perform to an elevated level this year because of the pieces around them being depleted.
And
why do we continue to give them a pass?
You watched Dak beat Houston yesterday and Houston last week, and you watched Houston take Patrick Mahomes to overtime. See, you're talking about Dak. Last week when Dak made that last-second drive, we crushed. It
was a good drive.
We crushed Dallas. We crushed Dallas. Now Houston played Kansas City to an overtime game. If Dallas wouldn't have lost that game, I would have been tearing y'all up about all of that. I'd have been tearing y'all up about all of that. And for Dan to come in here and say that we give Dak a pass,
hold on.
We lay on Dak harder than anybody, I think.
First of all, let's separate the two of us. Not we, you. That's number one. Number two, here's me, actually. Here's the deal, Dan Orlovsky. Don't insult me. Because you said everybody's saying this about Dak Prescott. No, it's a few. And there are those nauseating fans like him sprinkled throughout. Listen. Most of us recognize what Dak Prescott has not been. By the way, let me look into the camera and say this. Jerry Jones, you willing to admit I was right now when I talked about how Jerry Jones is looking at Dak Prescott like, you got to get it done when he gave that quote a few weeks ago. 105.3 in Dallas. You know, it's a flagship station out there. That's 105.3. You know what? Yeah, they do good work. They do good work. And they have Jerry Jones on every week. And they have this dude on all the time as well. And they had me on a few weeks ago because they didn't think I was going to call in. I called in. Was it right about Dak Prescott now? I told you. Ain't nobody saying he's a scrub. Ain't nobody saying he can't play. We're saying the opposite. What we're saying is he can. That's why he got his money. So when is he going to do it? The fact of the matter is, Dak Prescott has been in Dallas, 8 years now? 7 or 8 years. 7 or 8 years. 7 or 8 years.
7,
okay?
I think.
7 or 8 years. He has not had one single trip to an NFC championship game, despite the roster that has been accorded to him. And you, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a Hall of Famer, somebody whose standard was championships. You celebrate players that don't even visit a conference championship games every chance you get. Are you willing to admit how ashamed you are of what you are seeing take place before your very eyes? Because you're seeing it. I know you ain't blind to it.
I know what I'm seeing.
You know what's coming.
I know what I'm seeing. I tell you what I'm seeing, and I've said it, and I've been harmonious with everything.
Harmonious?
I've always said what I'm saying.
There's nothing that's been harmonious about what you said about the Cowboys.
I'm creating harmony here. I've always said I mentioned him in distance travel. I say it a million times.
Distance travel? What distance is that travel? What are you talking about?
From where Dak was drafted to where Dak is, and right now that late round draft is putting up 35 points a game.
No, I'm not going for that. Because the man was starting as a rookie. The man was starting as a rookie.
You got to.
We can't do that.
Oh, now we can't do what?
No.
The man is putting up 35 points a game.
Not when it counts. Not when it counts.
Oh, come on, man.
Why do you shake your head at that? Who are you attributing the 35 points to?
They haven't scored. Name the top 15 defense, top 16 defense that they've played well against. They don't exist, Nolly, okay? Second of all is this. We can't.
I don't know what to say to that.
Because
you can only play the defenses that they put on the football field.
Okay. So to Dan's point, it's not impressive because the defense hasn't been elite.
You said 35 points. It wouldn't be impressive if they were poor defenses and you weren't leading the league. You're leading the league. That's impressive.
Okay, so
how can it not be impressive if the object is to score points in this league?
Because there's a reality to this, that they haven't played well against the top 15 defense. He threw for 280 yards, which 98 of them were against Houston. They threw for $170 against the Colts. They threw for 250 against the Giants. He hasn't eclipsed 300 yards this year.
Okay.
How are we going to sit here and rave about this?
And by the way, let's throw Kellen Moore in there as well, because CD Lamb looked pretty damn good. How do you only target him 7 times?
And the second thing is this, Stephen A., because this is where I don't agree with the whole, well, you can't hold him to the standard of his contract. If we are not, and I'm not allowed to hold him to the standard of his contract, then I can't hold him to the standard of where he was drafted. We can't rave about he was that 4th-round pick, I believe, or 3rd-round pick, that has elevated to become a top 10 or top 12 player at the position, and praise that and celebrate that. And then when the contract gets given to him, then hold him to the standard of the contract. That you know that's the business of the NFL. You know that when guys get paid a certain amount of money, specifically at that position, that the expectation level gets risen. Again, Dak played good football yesterday. They needed his team. I honestly believe this, Playmaker. If that interception on 2nd 18 doesn't happen, the Cowboys don't lose that game.
Okay.
And his role, and I think it's fair for that football team to expect him to treat the football, because of the depletion of injury, like the most important thing in the world.
I got it, but they did surrender 503
Okay,
yards.
we're gonna.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.